Hello and welcome everyone to the Spanish Grand Prix round number 5 here in Tier 1. So, I'm joined by Milo Gaming again for round 5, Tier 1, Spain again. 17 drivers here today. Milo Gaming, how are you doing?
Oh, great, mate. Thanks. Yeah, 17 drivers is not the most ideal circumstance, but I'm sure we'll get through this. A 50% race coming up in about 12 minutes' time after qualifying. 33 laps of Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. A very demanding circuit where some tricky curbs, as I've had my own experiences in the past with.
Whoa. Anyway.
Indeed.
We've got to talk about yesterday's Tier 2 race, obviously, and the Tier 3 race from Friday. Cannot forget about those. Tier 3 race, a great battle in the last lap between Data Lucas, Chevy Giant, battle to the win. A little bit of contact resulted in a racing incident, but Chevy Giant did the respectful thing, slowing down in case of a penalty happening. And you also had, in the Tier 2 race, a great battle between Kagoda and Adam Fav, and a great midfield battle between yourself and Beatnik, and Hamilton involved, and Riles, and all of them involved in that. Pluto also, who's racing Tier 1 today. You know, a great battle all throughout that field. What you got to say about those two races this past weekend?
Yeah, I did manage to catch up with some off Tier 3. No, I wasn't really watching fully, but I did catch some glimpses of the potential this circuit holds. You can run side by side. There's a long straight. If you get a good exit of the final chicane, it is entirely possible. The first sector, very fast as well. So easy to run side by side, but also easy to make an error, which is why this circuit is somewhat underrated. Hopefully it'll be even better on the new game with how they're altering the final sector. So
yeah,
I expect more of the same. Hopefully after Australia, people step up their game with some side-by-side action. We can have more finishes and more action.
Yeah, we saw the F1 2020 gameplay of Spain released this week, actually. So, I mean, we got to see that, what Sector 3 would look like, changes at the track. In this game, we saw, obviously, Zandvoort the previous week kind of put out there. And we have ABS Jarv spun right in front of Rizone!
That's the second time Jarv has done that.
And Rizone...
he's got a quick penalty.
That's a bit unfair.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say. That was...
Well, it's the second time he's been limping around on softs.
Yeah, that's true. And Rizone has to come into the pits from that. And he's got a great penalty from that. That might hurt his chances at winning this race. You know, Boker, his streak of 4 in a row, kind of ended last week after he tried to go 5 in a row, I believe it was. How much that changed? That changed a lot. GSRX up to P3. Wow. Wow. Up to P3 for GSRX.
Yes, that's a good lap from him. We'll see the switch to the mediums come soon.
Oh yeah, we've already seen it from some people, so we might see the softs at the end, but I would not assume, because the strategy, the way it goes here, you never know. You can't really just bet on softs, because I know it's a mediums to hard strategy, so some people might go for it. I mean, Silent took a P8 yesterday from it, and he took pole position, so maybe we might see it, maybe we might not. You don't know. Totally not sure.
Especially betting on safety cars if you want to go on the softs, but even if you do, it doesn't always happen. Back to the XB's Tier 2 race. No safety car in sight, just 3 virtual safety cars for various incidents around track. What we'll get today is to be decided, but yeah.
Gotta talk about last week. Can't go without that. John taking his first win. Not here today, but no Red Bull here today, actually, except for Rumbly Fungus. I apologize. I thought there was no Red Bull. But yeah, no. To be honest, with last week, we saw probably the greatest Tier 1 race so far, and this surprisingly being the best one in Australia out of all races. Well, we saw John take the win on an amazing strategy. Atlantis tried to go as long as he could on hards, pinched Polo God to the wall, took a penalty for that, and JSC Rapalucas to the top. 118.3. Yeah, so the thing is, we kind of saw that last week with the drivers. They kind of pinched the strategy a little bit more than I expected, and we saw, obviously, a lot more difference happen. So, obviously, Boker crashed with Felipe, and there's DW off the racetrack at turn 2. Yeah, we saw Boker crash with Felipe, making contact there. And I believe that is GSR Pluto actually up to second on the medium tires.
Yes.
Wow. Talk about someone who should be maybe Tier 1 from Tier 2. Definitely crazy for him. Ready P2. Behind Rapalucas. Yeah, Rapalucas is using his other backup account. He got com banned yesterday. Yeah.
It was funny. It was funny.
One of the drivers here. Yeah. Yeah, not really much you could really say about that. Hopefully you are tuning into the stream right now, Milo, because I am going to put up points right now. Point standings. I put up some of the positions. I put up some people there. So this is what we got. I couldn't put up the full graphic for it. I had to put this up. And, yeah. So this is what we got. Boker still leading the standings. Rapalucas behind, way behind, a race behind, almost 2 races behind. And then you have Felipe, who's yet to didn't race this race today. Then you have behind that John, Sam Steed, Rizone, Atlantis, Tax, F1 driver Polo God running up the top 10. Then, also, after that, you have some of the notable drivers. Drivers who you would expect maybe more up in the standings, better in the standings. Well, they're not. GSRX down P11, DW down in P16, Bama Outlaw 23rd in the standings out of 24 drivers who competed this season. Who's the biggest shocker to you, Milo? And make sure you get Alabama Outlaw in here in the lobby.
Yeah, I'll do that now. My audio might be a little bit dodgy though, so
Yep.
I'll wait to do the.
Nah, I think it was fine. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, look, this seemed fine. So, yeah, point standings. Boker leading the standings, Rapalucas behind, Felipe behind that. But my really big shocker out of anyone, I have to say for sure, John and Sam Steed. I mean, come on. They have done so well so far this season. They've done so well. And Sam Steed is coming right back in front of that Red Bull of Rumbly Fungus, who's on an outlap. Yeah, so Sam Steed, I just think with his pace, with how they're doing, Ferrari, third in constructors, tied for second, doing very well so far, so they're doing very good with the way it's going. You know, they're doing fine. So, I'm just really wondering, how are things going to go for him? Is he going to keep up the momentum? He's sitting 5th in points. Ferrari's sitting 3rd. And, you know, McLaren's still sitting 4th after just only Felipe's points being there. With Bama's the teammate of him, 23rd in points. Toro's just behind that in 5th with 46 points. Both Atlantis and Rizone having 23. And we saw Rizone go up to 2nd on the leaderboards. 6 1,000s between Rapalucas. Yeah, it's really interesting what we see in the standings. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Sam has an opportunity to take third place in the championship today, providing he gets 2nd place. So that'll be a bit of a, we'll say, miracle target, because there is some outstanding drivers in here. Rapalucas as well.
That's
just
champion.
39 points behind Boker, so he does need to put everything into this period of the season. Goes well around Spain from previous experiences as well. Rizone, he's just getting unluckier and unluckier with his races, so it's a shock to see him down in 6th place when in my league, LDRL, the partnered league, I think he's 3rd place, just 1 point behind the 2 leaders, so Unfortunate here.
Rizone is actually retired from the session now. I was in the pit lane, pretty sure. Yeah, anyway, a big shock for me is DW. Last season, second in the championship, contending with Rapalucas. Only 2 points so far. Obviously, only 2 races for him, but still, with the way he's turned out, wow, Graham goes to 4th. Amazing by him. Yeah, with the way it's turned out for him, I'm just surprised. I'm very surprised because with the way it is for DW, it doesn't really make sense how he's that far down considering he was second in the championship last season. Obviously, there's more competition, but you know, obviously he had the race ban in Bahrain, but still, you know, that's the thing. I would expect him, a driver who's been consistent last season, more better to be up there in the standings more. All right, so let's look at what we got in this qualifying session so far. 1:44 left, Sector 3, Sector 2, yellow flag somewhere. Yesterday, the battle between Adam Fav Kagoda. Do we see a battle for the race win between Rapalucas and Boker? Rapalucas finally breaking through.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to see where Boker's lap time puts him before we can really comment on the 1-lap pace. But the race pace, of course, is totally different. Rumbly Fungus
Wow.
goes to the top of
That's
the time.
amazing
He
left.
touched another Red Bull.
Wow, that could be front row for the past, what, like 3 of the last 4 weeks, I think. Racing Point come to the line. It's Axe starting his lap, and then behind that, the Renault coming in the pits. But let's watch Mr. Boker's lap, because I want to watch this for a minute.
Yep.
I want to watch the start of the 2 sectors. He's currently up a 10th. Graham's retired from the session. Zone 18 thousandths down.
Understand.
Yeah, you could definitely see it in the race car. It's not really turning the way he wants it to. And now he's able to get traction off. I don't know if that could have been a valid. It could have been, considering what we see. Atlantis actually up to P4 on the mediums. This is going to be his best qualifying in ARL so far if he can keep it right there. To the line, there's a Mercedes starting his lap. That's Jarv. He has the grip penalty. He has cars in front of him, Boker. And only 3/10 up. So he's just got to make up another 2/10 to be able to get this pole position over Rumbly Fungus. Sector 3, such a hard part of the track. You got to get everything right. You cannot make a mistake. One big mistake, one hopping over the curb just the wrong way, and you are done. Racing Point, come to the line. Who is that? We'll have to find out. That is Jack to the top.
Jack.
1:18.2 in his second start. Where does Boker go? Boker to the line. Not enough.
On the
7,000. Wow. Polo got to 6th. McLaren crosses the line. JC Rapalucas to pole. This is the first time if he can keep it. If he can keep it, this will be his first time. Anyways, to the line. After that, there is a Williams. Behind that, that's DW on the soft. Can it be a Williams front row? To the line. DW, will he steal that pole position? He steals it.
He does.
Rapalucas is not on pole for the first time. Mercedes coming to the line with Tax. P9. You know, Alfa Romeo, F1 driver. Does not improve. Behind that, ABS Jar. Struggling. And it's a Williams front row. Boker's down in 4th.
Come on, boys. No bias here, don't worry.
Oh my god, we're going to see a great one. We still have drivers completing their lap. Trust me, this ain't over yet. GSRX, he's one of the next cars, but also one of the next cars also is Jack. I don't think he's necessarily trying on this lap considering what we're seeing. He's coming in the pits, actually. There's an Alfa Romeo. It is Polo God. 65 1,000ths up. He's on a second lap. If he can do this, maybe he can get on the front row. Maybe he can get to second row. What can Polo God do? Coming to the line. Polo God 5th. Pluto, Danny Skett goes 3rd. The Ferrari, Sam Steed, 10th. Behind that, GSR Axe looks down on his time, and he is for sure. Wow.
I don't know whether Tax is still going.
Not on pole. Not on pole. I thought it was going to be Rapalucas for the first time, but no, it's not. And look how close the top 11 are.
This is crazy.
Tax 3rd.
Up to 3rd.
Second row.
Sorry, 8th.
F1 driver.
Oh my days.
He steals the Williams front row away. What have we seen? We're on for a good race. We're on for a good race. That's all I'm saying.
This
We're on
is so
for-
close. I don't believe it.
Oh my
The track
God.
evolution at the end there must have been insane. Look at that. Admire
Look at the
it.
gap for first to 12th, all within 3/10. Oh my goodness.
Who cares
We're
if we
on
have
for a
less
good race.
drivers?
We're on
Who
six
cares
between
at
the
that?
field who've set in times too. Why? Oh my God. All right, well, DW on the pole in ARL again. This is his 4th pole. F1 driver breaks the Williams front row with Rapalukis almost taking his first pole. Tax and Danny 4th and 5th. Jack back in 6th in his second start. Boker down in 7th. Then you have Polo God, Rumby Fungus, and Razone. Also, you have GSR Pluto making his first start outside the top 10. Wow. We're on for a good one. That's a fact.
I'm sure Rapalukas is punching the air. Yes, Boker's 7th. This is my chance.
Oh, well, I don't think so. I wouldn't think so, Milo, because
Yep.
he's been dying to get a pole position. I've talked to him before. He just wants a
He
pole
has.
position. His dad scored a pole position before him. So, oh boy. It's going to be crazy. You also have Bama Outlaw joining us in the race. Danny Skett and him will be probably changing cars, whatever car Bama's in. Danny Skett will go to because Bama's in McLaren and Danny's in that McLaren. So, obviously, that will be changed up. I knew Bama would get in line later, so, yeah. Oh my God, 13 viewers here watching us. Boker is sandbagging, of course. Yeah, you never know. Do you think so, Milo? I mean, you never know.
No, I
Never
just think that was a ridiculous qualifying session with
Yeah.
where anyone could, if you're out at the right time, then got every chance of getting a surprise start. F1 driver on the front row, that's really surprising. You know, he's
Yeah.
slowly. Oh, this
Whoa.
spin is.
Oh my God.
He always
Yeah.
does it. He always does it. And there goes his softs.
Oh my God. He's on the softs. Pluto on the hards. Jarv on the hards. Yeah, so Bama's in the Haas. So that's gonna mean Danny will get points in the Haas. Since he's not a reserve. Anyway though, I've got to say though about that F1 driver sending Rapalukas the front row away from Williams. That Williams one too looked very likely. Then we saw it gone. All right, I'm gonna go over. Let's go over 3 drivers. I'll go over mine quick. JSC Rapalukas, one of his best tracks. This is his birthday weekend. He turned 15 over on Thursday, I believe it was. And today, if he could get a win, I think that'd be one of the best wins for him in ARL yet. If he could do this, this would be an amazing drive. Oh my God, who do I go with? Boker down in 7th. You can never count him out, and he looks to have good pace, but that was not the best qualifying position for him. It's so close. Boker feeling under the weather as we see a crash. Boker feeling under the weather. He's not feeling that well. If he can get a win while he's under the weather, that'd be great for him. F1 driver starting P2 also. Can he do everything in his power to get the Williams out of his way and be the top guy in mediums today? Who are your 3, Milo?
Well, I'm going to start with Razone. He qualified 10th, but was ultimately handed a 5-pace grid penalty for something that totally was out of his control, which is unfortunate. He has good hard pace from what we've seen in qualifying over 1 lap, so I'll be interested to see what he does as well. Ricochet, his return back after those Xbox issues, but he has, again, just by Razone will be an interesting scrap between those. And we'll go with GSR Axe as well. He starts 10th. I started around there yesterday. I honestly don't know at this point. But made up some positions off crashes, and with an especially close grid, it's not out of the question that that could happen again today.
You tell often, yes, that's Rappa's only present. Yeah, I know you're talking about. 5 red lights upon us here in Spain. Here we go for Catalonia. 5 red lights are upon us, and here we go. We are green. DW side by side with F1 driver Rapalukas gaining and gaining 3 wide for Rapalukas. Look at him splitting the middle, 3 wide toward the midfield. Rapalukas, Williams side by side, and 3 wide with Tax. Danny Skedden around the outside, and Williams 1, 2 through turn 2 to turn 3. Pressure the back. Big mess.
Sam Pluto.
And we see a VSC. GSR Pluto's got a 5-second penalty for talking with Sam. And Razone's gained 2 positions out of that. Now 1. Bama passes him back. Bama has some front-wing damage from that. And I believe Sam Steed does too. Ricochet does too. GSR Pluto was caught up in that. or a few cars caught up in that, but Rappalucas, third to first. We saw great slipstream. We saw Adam pull out to a big lead yesterday. Do we see Rappalucas pull out to a big lead today? Again, off the start.
Well, firstly, that reminds me of what Alonso did in 2011.
11,
Full cars, straight past the Red Bulls, he's up into the lead of this race. Absolutely super satisfying start. Now he just needs to control the pace. He's got Dylan behind him. There's probably a roadblock. Oh, there's a... Did you see the Toro Rosso go off there a little bit?
Yeah, I did see that. Ricochet side by side with Jarb, but here we come back to the green flag. 4:10 separate the 1 and 2. Rappalucas stays ahead of DW. The Williams lead the race as of right now, and they are 1-2. This is not tier 3. This is tier 1, and those two, after a bad start to the season, they expected to be the favorites. Right now, this is the way it stands. Danny Skedit on F1 driver Rappalucas leads lap 1. And positions gained already for him with 2 positions, 4 for Graham, but side by side between Danny and F1 driver, side by side into turn 1. F1 driver's ahead and stays ahead through the turn 2 curb, and a little bit loose there between the two. Atlanta takes a time penalty also. Well, behind that, Jack losing time to Boker. You also have the 3 who pitted, Ricochet, Sam Seed, who double stacked, and Bama Outlaw, who also pitted from that first lap collision. GSR Pluto not doing well in his first tier 1 start anyway. I am looking at chat, by the way. Anyway, 5-10 separate 1-2. And DW, we saw Silent go softs, mediums, and make it the whole way. Do we see him do the same thing like Silent did in tier 2 yesterday?
I really don't think he'll put on the hards, that's for sure. Quite poor race tyres, especially when they're worn towards the end. So I think he will go for 2 sets of mediums, and will really need to gamble on a safety car. We've already seen that start crash much more chaotic than the tier 2 race anyway, so I wouldn't rule it out just yet. As always, I never rule anything out, especially with the grid this close right now.
Well, Danny's gaining on F1 driver for P3. This battle is going to continue. Rappalucas takes the fastest lap of the race on lap 2, but here comes Danny into turn 1 in the slipstream of F1 driver. DRS is enabled. Trying to have a look. Not anything yet. Boker sits behind Tax. Boker still close. Rides the curve. Doesn't spin this time. And they've kind of pulled away from Graham there. Graham's gained 4 positions, but behind that, Axe Atlantis also close, along with Razone, the 2 Toro Rossos, getting close to one another, trying to maybe work together to catch Axe and Graham. Different start than what we've seen compared to the other races for sure. Rappalucas third to first, similar to Nufsy Ryan, because Nufsy Ryan, remember at USA, he split the middle and almost gone for the lead, but this time Rappalucas completed it, and Razone is by Atlantis. So position straight between the two Toro Rosso drivers. 7/10 separate the leaders of Rappalucas and DW. DW did have DRS at time on that straight, but ERS, F1 driver already has very, very low ERS, but passes sector 2 by him already.
Oh, Boker! Sorry, he got up on the horrible curve through the left-hander, turn 11. Thought he was going to lose it.
Utah Elephant says, first time we've seen Tax this far up this season. Yeah, Tax has had a really struggling start to the season. Tax, is this the chance he could turn around? Boker actually goes wide off the fallen corner, and he's going to lose time to Tax. I just watched that because Boker is going to lose time, and he's almost out of DRS.
He's got a good part in a straight line.
With Fungus close to Polo God. Polo God had a chance for a podium last race, but that cost himself with the contact with Atlantis post late in the race. GSR Pluto is by ABS Jar for 14th. An F1 driver losing time to DW and Rappalucas, the front 2. And then behind that, obviously, F1 driver Danny, Tax, Boker. Then you have Jack, Polo, Rumbly Fungus, all really close to one another in some sort of train. 1.1 separate F1 driver and DW. Lap 4 of the race.
Yeah, Rappalucas now is doing the right thing. He's just keeping DW in his DRS, and that's allowing him to put a little bit of a gap to F1 driver, who will not have DRS on him. Of course, F1 driver is under pressure from Danny, Tax, Boker, Jack, all in that train. It's anyone's getting back there. So this is really good work from the Williams guys. Now, can they get the strategy right?
Yeah, F1 driver just set a purple sector 2, so obviously sector 2 seems very good for him, but I don't think he's there in sector 1 or sector 3 compared to the 2 Williams boys. So that could change things. I mean, if he could pull away the way he does in Sector 2, maybe that allows him to get out of DRS from Danny and Tax. Anyways, fastest lap for Rappalucas, now Boker. And look at how things have changed. Into turn 1, Boker gaining on Tax. Here he goes, down the inside into turn 1. He goes by, and he is ahead of Tax. So, Boker, 2 positions gained. Similar to Rappalucas' 2. 3 positions gained for ABS Jarv also. Looking into turn 4, that is, for Tax. Not enough for a move, obviously. A little bit too far back. Again, 1.2 is the gap between the race leaders. I mean, I would assume Rappalucas was trying to keep him in DRS or trying to do everything he can to work together with DW. Because he wanted to have him try to pull away from F1 driver. This track isn't most effective with DRS, but hey, I mean, you never know. A safety car could easily come out and change things in this race easily. Hopefully Boker doesn't get murdered by Danny now. Who knows? Who knows? Danny, everyone's been questioning. Oh, Danny, Mr. Boker, fastest Sector 2. Yeah, people have been questioning Danny's driving, but it's been very aggressive. It's been fair to a certain extent. So obviously, you know, he's been warned about that already. And Polo got a little bit sideways through that little right-left up the hill. Yeah, DW's lost DRS to Rappalucas, so that's not going to help him at all now because he's in a bad position. Rappalucas, another fastest lap for him. Keep seeing the dominating fastest laps in Boker, stealing it back. The fastest lap game again. An F1 driver on DW, down the inside. Alfa Romeo versus Williams again. F1 driver gets by. She lost
no stops. Going to be coming to the end of the lap very soon. Remember, he's done a qualifying lap on those. He's had a spin off the start. It's probably not the correct strategy. Well, we know it isn't the correct strategy, but it's a gamble.
Just saw G-Star Pluto and ABS Jarv go side by side there. That was pretty close. That could have ended in an airplane crash or something crazy. 1.5 seconds is that gap. I was just saying, F1 driver lost some time originally with battling DW side by side through turn 1 and 2. But now he's gained it back to where it should be. Only one Red Bull representing Tier 1 today. What a shame, as he says. Yeah, I mean, sucks. Gautier and John aren't here today, but we have Rumley Fungus, the reserve. In the points right now, Red Bull won last time out in Australia. So hopefully things change. DW is so sideways right there. I thought he was going to lose it.
He's in the pit.
I thought he was going to hit the pit wall for a moment. Yeah, this is where the soft runners would be pitting. And medium runners expect them to pit around the halfway point. That's probably the point they should be pitting. Boker gaining on Danny. Danny defends to the right side. Boker to the left side. That's probably where you want to be. And now around the outside. Boker gets it done on Danny. So, Boker challenging through the field up to P3. 4 positions gained now.
Like I said before, Boker has a brilliant car in a straight line. Just sets up the move perfectly as well. It's just a brilliant combination behind the wheel of that Renault. What can you do from here? 1 second up the road, it's F1 driver.
Well, also behind that, Graham is closing on Rumley Fungus, while Axe closing on them. Razone in this back part of the pack. Ricochet passes Alabama Outlaw, and still staying close to Rumley Fungus. Graham, 3/10 separate the gap. Off this corner, it's such a tricky corner to get right. Graham actually clips the gravel right there, and Axe is there to challenge to the outside. Side by side, keeping it clean. Axe going off the racetrack just a little bit. Graham, these two made contact last week. So, there you go again. A little bit more contact, yeah. This isn't well for them. So, out of the medium runners, who do you think is the first to pit? I would say F1 driver Boker to try to get an undercut. Axe, penalty.
Yeah, Graham ran a little bit wide there as well. So I think Boker might pit first. He knows the pace he's got. He's gaining on the lead just at a rate of knots. So, to perfect an undercut will be his next aim, I think.
Oh, Axe!
Again.
Whoa. He's going to damage that for wing if he keeps doing that. He can't be doing that. I mean, Axe got a penalty for squeezing him toward the wall last week, so Axe can't be doing that. We also have Polo God, Rumley Fungus pulled away from Graham out of DRS. Gets passed by Razone.
Yeah, look at the rears.
Yeah, I think you did the same thing too yesterday, Milo. I don't know if it was you or Hamilton. I know it's one of you two. You locked the rears up. I believe it was in the same corner, in one of the corners there, and you almost lost it.
Might be me, but I think just Hamilton did have a spin later on, so it might have been him.
Oh, Adam Fav, it was driver of the day for you yesterday. That's what it was for the sticker. That's who it was. Anyway, yeah, the penalties to be served. Just want to remind you guys, Arline had 3 seconds heading into this race. Felipe had 5 seconds. He's not racing. Both of them aren't racing. Yellow flag. Ooh. And we also have Jarv, who's also spun it too. Yeah, it's actually Jarv that time. Okay. So, Boker, close to F1 driver, down the pit straight into turn 1, side by side. Ooh, he squeezes him out there. F1 driver back on the curb, side by side for turn 2. This is going to get feisty if they keep it up. And Boker is ahead, F1 driver, close enough for a move into turn 4. He might try it. No, he won't. Yellow flag.
Alabama outlaw. The tricky left-hander, turn 11-12.
Atlantis Axe side by side for P11. Toro Rosso versus Racing Point. It is Atlantis getting ahead for that position. Yeah, Danny Skedet actually had the 5-second penalty, so he's the only one who has penalties to serve. And Axe and Atlantis make contact again. That almost ended really badly. And that could have been worse than what it was. We sure know that. F1 driver so close to Boker. Indy turn 11. Lap 9 of the race. Rapalookas still has that 2-second lead. He's got to keep it over Boker. Back in DAR, Milo, Rapalookas beat Boker. I don't want to curse anything yet, and I know me saying this probably will, but do you think he has the overall pace to beat him at least?
Well, he certainly has the defensive skills, which is what you need around the circuit. It was a fascinating train for the lead of that race. He controlled it brilliantly, so if he could just do the same thing today, he's got this win.
F1 driver to turn 1. Side by side, and like you said, F1 driver does get ahead that time, so he's challenging Boker. F1 driver, you know, this is interesting because F1 driver Rapalookas, they had the rivalry. I think they're fine now. I talked to both of them actually in a party, so they're fine now. But the thing is, F1 driver kind of helping Rapalookas, it looks like right now, because think about it, F1 driver gets by Boker and kind of challenges him, so obviously back and forth between those two. DW gets a penalty also.
Yeah, if these two keep DRSing each other, letting each other through every lap, they're not on the same team, so surprising that they're doing this, but this is a method that they can catch up to Rapalookas and take the fight to him.
Boker actually lost some tenths there to F1 driver, now is 5 tenths back. I mean, on that front straight, you can be 5-4 tenths back and still gain, but on this straight, the straight into that corner, you need to be only 3 or 4 tenths back. It's not as effective as a DRS straight. It's less effective. And we know that because it's shorter, but still. Zone close to the other car of the Hondas. That's Red Bull versus Toro Rosso. 3 tenths separate those two for P8, P9 in the running order. Polo God losing DRS to Jack. Jack losing DRS to them. And Boker getting on F1 driver into turn 1 for P2. This is down the inside. Danny Scott watching this going on. And side by side again.
Whoa.
Boker is ahead. Axe picks up a penalty. The Fungus gets passed by Rizone also. Axe gets passed by Atlantis, or stays behind actually. So, 2.3 seconds this gap is right now. It's staying pretty even. It's staying very even. Well, a lot of close battles, more than I expected compared to yesterday in the Tier 2 race. Tier 2 race didn't have these close battles at this point in the race. We just saw the midfield. Now we see the battle for what is the podium. We see the battle for the midfield, and we see the battle for the back of the pack between Axe and Atlantis outside the points.
I'm surprised that these drivers are being able to follow each other so closely. I mean, didn't see too much of that yesterday.
No, not at all. And I mean, you took what I believe was a P5 finish out of it, Milo?
5th in the end, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, 4 tenths separate the gap between second and third. Pitting is rezoned, so trying the undercut. One of the first medium runners to pit. And now, the outside F1 driver goes, side by side. 2.1 seconds that gap between the race lead again. So, like I said earlier, Rapalookas beat Boker and DAR. You know, obviously those two got to avoid penalties, and in the first place. Rapalucas has a warning. Boker has a warning also. F1 driver has nothing. Danny Skedit has a warning. Tax has a penalty. So that's the top 5 from what it looks like right now.
It's not a very harsh track for track limits.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some penalties picked up from the midfield yesterday.
Coffee. That comes down now to under 2 seconds. End of sector 2. The front driver will want to get past Berg again on the main straight. So does Danny and Tax, all in this train.
Sorry, I was just talking to my dad about something. Yeah, this is gonna change things for sure. I apologize. I had to talk to my dad for a minute about something. Yep. So also, Rumley Funk is pitting. So he's trying to undercut on Polo and them. He actually speeds, so that does not help him out at all.
That's a shame.
Zone close to IBS Jarv also. So hard tires going on for those guys. Kind of what I expected. Where does Boker come out compared to the rest of the field? Comes out toward DW, I think. Actually ahead. No, it's going to be close. Side by side down the pit straight. DW is actually ahead. So DW could actually play the team game here with Williams and maybe hold up Boker. So that's why I expected DW to get out in front. And the gap between F1 driver and Boker is actually 2 seconds. So F1 driver lost some time in the pit lane somewhere. It's definitely not good that it's 2 seconds now because those two were really close on track. It was what? Second coming into the pits? Now it's 2 seconds. So this could change easily what could be for the podium or the race win. Yeah, I've got to ask you though, Milo. We've only had a VSC yet. We didn't have any safety cars in Tier 2 race. We had Tier 3, a safety car and a VSC. And in the Tier 2, obviously, we had like 4 or 3 VSCs. And we've had 1 VSC so far. What do we see from this race as we see the front 3 pitting?
Well, we've seen the fair share of mistakes throughout the whole weekend, the Tier 3 and Tier 2 as well. I think it's just a lottery, to be honest, whether you get a safety car or a virtual safety car from a mistake.
Yellow flag.
So, yellow flag.
Oh, there's a big crash. Razone's involved. Safety car.
Safety car. Oh my days. Wait, so Rapalucas has just come out of the pit.
In the what's going to be race lead?
Yeah, P2.
This helps him majorly, and Danny is in a Williams sandwich, and Rapalucas is in a McLaren sandwich, which Pluto and Axe have yet to pit. Razone's actually out again for the 3rd time this season. A big crash at the back. That's what caused it. Someone with ABS jar.
Why did you?
I believe.
It's always you talking to me about safety cars, and then all of a sudden the game just like, here, have a safety car. And there we go.
Oh my god. I mean, I figured it was... Danny Sketz left the session. Make sure you invite him back, Milo.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Really, Rapalucas can play the team game with DW. Really here with Boker. I'm just thinking, what's going to happen now? And Danny Sked, if he comes back in the session, he's going to split those two. And this is also great for the guys in the back who, like Adam Fab said, you know, kind of had trouble on the first lap and had trouble in general. This is good for them. This changes everything. So, last week we saw a safety car at the beginning of the race. Now we see a safety car toward the middle of the race. And this is the right time for Axe to pull to the pit. Alrighty. Axe is pitting this time. So for Axe, where is he going to come out? He's probably going to be in a better position here, I'm going to assume. He was back in around 8th, 9th, 10th, that area. So Zone has left the session. I don't blame him for that. Danny sent me a message to invite him back, I think.
Yeah, I did. I'm going to have to be... Got it.
Yup. Well, Axe pits, and so does Pluto, but where are these guys going to come out compared to the rest of the field? Pluto's car is...
Okay, he's got it.
Yeah, Pluto's got a 5 seconds, so that's why he was held up by that. Axe comes out in 10th. He was originally there, so it doesn't really change anything for him. DW passes Danny, so Danny's car does run back, but it's going to be in 3rd place unless got an illegal overtake. And yeah, Boker's trying to pass the car now. Yeah.
They're all overtaking him. That's not... I don't know.
They overtook the ghost of the car, yeah. And now some people have to give it back, I think. Some people have to give it back. This is a safety car mess right here. Yeah, this is going to cause a mess. This is going to cause a mess. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is going to be
kidding? Oh, no. Just pulled off onto the grass.
What is that AI car doing? Well, thank God we didn't have ghosting off, because we would have had another F1 driver at USA where that car, you know what happened with Callum's AI. Yeah. Bama on softs, Utah Alpha mentions, yeah. Oh, man. I feel so bad for Danny, because he was second, and now he's going to be back in 13th. That worked out so great for him, and now, because he got disconnected, this is what happens to him. And I feel bad. Because his chance maybe at a podium was probably gone right there. Did he take control yet? I mean, I don't know. That really sucks, though. Access by Jack. Access on AI. Oh, man.
You should tell him how.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Graham, I think, just passed Jack, too.
No, it's not. Never mind.
Well, this safety car is definitely going to change things for sure. DW can... You know what? DW really... With the safety car, this helps him a ton for... If he's going to go to the mediums to the end or anything like that, what is he going to do? Silent gone 18 laps, maybe 20 laps, I think it was, on the mediums. So, I don't think we'll see it, but, hey, I mean, I'm thinking this right now that, hey, we don't know what could happen. We could see another safety car. We don't know. Access by Graham under the safety car. Graham's AI is kind of... I don't know if it's his AI or what he's doing, but it's kind of pulled over. Passes Jack back. We're seeing a lot of safety car glitches, I will say. Game in general.
Lucky for Danny, he is back. But behind his teammate.
Well, Williams, again, 1-2, like we saw earlier. DW can play the team game. And actually, you know what? Do you remember in Tier 2, Milo, with Callum and Pluto? Those two were 1-2 for McLaren. Pluto was having the lead. Callum was second. Callum was backing up the pack a whole second compared to Pluto. Do you think Rapalucas and DW might do that, where DW backs up the pack and does wingman for Rapalucas? Because Rapalucas is probably in the best position to win this championship this season out of anyone else to be Boker. And he's also in the best position to win this race, I'd say, right now, out of anyone. Safety car in this lap.
Well, I think it will just come down to raw pace, really, that Dylan happens to back off. I don't think there'll be any instructions. I just think it will happen. But I do agree with what you said. Ultimately, he will back up the pack, allow Rapalucas to get away.
That's the only thing that will help Williams get a win this season. I don't see them getting another win this season. I don't even see them getting a win at all, to be honest. I really don't. This is probably their last good chance, in my opinion, in Tier 1 at least. Tier 2, Tier 3 can change, but still, I don't see it in Tier 1. Here we go back to the green flag this time. Look how much GW's back to the pack. Rapalucas is in the lead. He's far gone, and he is back to the green flag. He's ahead by at least a second. DW goes wide and goes in the gravel. He messed it up. Two Alpha males. Two Alpha males battle. 4th and 5th, and look how much Boker's back. 1.4 seconds. Tax is going to try to battle him. Polo guy tried it into turn 1. DW lost positions. Now he's side by side with Jack. Through turn 2. Ooh.
Oh, that was the backing up is now out of the window. Really good restart from Rapalucas, though, timed it to perfection. Run away 1.3 seconds to Boker.
Yeah, 1.2 now. Now Boker, if he gets into DRS, how things going to change? Do we see another battle between these two, again, like we saw in preseason? And do we see another battle similar to Kagoda and Adam Fab yesterday? 1.1 seconds is that gap. Close to DRS, not close enough. Lucas has really got to hold on. I mean, this is probably his best shot at a race win in a while. I mean, last season, Austria was a track where he got up to P3 from a quality band, taxed a bit sideways off that bumpy curve. I believe Rappa and Dylan are in the same party. Yeah, they usually are for league races. They were in France, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Yellow flag. Alabama is out of the race. And that is where the bumpy curb is. No DRS for Boker. Yeah, Bama is actually out of the race, retiring from the session. 2 people out of the race already. So, 9-10 separates the gap between 1 and 2. Boker, can he do this from down in P8 it was, right? P8? Yeah.
7th, I think.
Yeah, it would be 7th, you're right. Alright, I was just trying to... I cannot count. Anyway, we see behind that, Tax, a second behind. Tax, is this his best shot for podium? Because, you know, in this competitive era of ARL now, with how much competition we've got through this next season, of this season, Tax won 2 races last season. He was on podium in Germany. You know, Tax, really, to be honest, hasn't finished better than 5th or 6th this season. He's not really... He's been more part of the midfield this season, so, I don't know.
Obviously missed last week due to fever, but he does get extremely motivated in times like this, especially when he's holding back quicker drivers like F1 driver. He was so happy, keeps going on about it. I beat F1 driver at the championship last season. It was a brilliant moment for me. Fair enough, if we can hold it back again today, then a chance for podium.
Who knows? It's all going to matter of trailing speed. F1 driver, fastest lap, DRS enabled, and now Boker will have the chance for DRS on Rapalucas. The gap is 1 second, so penalties, you know, that should come into play too. Let's check this. Rapalucas has 2 warnings. Boker, 1. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is going to get good. Axe close to Polo God. Polo God losing time to his teammate. Graham behind them, along with Jack. Graham in a Racing Point sandwich. Racing Point really not had the best luck this season so far with TSR Norris and Axe. Axe was going to let go of TSR Norris, if I'm correct, with the way it looked, but TSR Norris already left after Australia anyway, so that couldn't really happen. I know Axe kept getting frustrated with how the points were going for him. And Boker did have DRS that time on Rapalucas. Racing Pointless. You always get it every time they're in the stream. Pluto, Danny Scat, Atlantis, Jarv, making contact. Look at the train from Romy Fungus on back. And Atlantis and Jarv going through each other. Ricochet takes advantage of Atlantis. So, front straightaway. DRS enabled for Boker. To turn 1, the pit straight. 6-10 separates the 1 and 2. Now gaining and gaining and gaining. Pitting his GSR Pluto. Might have got some damage. F1 driver by Tax. F1 driver's ahead. Also, Axe close to Polo God. 4 tenths. It was originally 2 tenths. And ooh, who was that? Pluto was actually out. And there was someone who nearly spun it up turn 3. That was Jack, actually. Don't know what happened to him. Did he get wing damage or anything? He does have wing damage on the left side. Danny Sketa gets by. Rumbling Fungus gets by. And contact with Rumbling Fungus sends him in the wall. Missing front wing now. Oh, wow. 1 and 2. 5 tenths. Still stays
Rapalucas just looking better on ERS, though, which is surprising for the leader of a race. He's doing really well.
I'll check for you. Out of 5, no, he does not have any damage. 3 tenths the gap between Atlantis and Jarv. Tax and F1 driver still within DRS of each other. Doesn't look like it right now, actually. Anyway, 4 tenths separates 1 and 2. 5 tenths now. Boker fastest lap on the hards. Into turn 1, he's peeking and peeking and peeking. He's trying to gain as much as he can. And now to the curb, they keep it pretty close into turn 1, but it is Rapalucas keeping the race lead. Let me check penalties. Boker, 1 warning. Rapalucas, still 2 warnings. F1 driver has 2 warnings. Tax with a penalty has 2 warnings after that. And Polo God with 2 warnings and down in 5th. JC Graham gets a penalty there through turn 3. That was Tax close to F1 driver. Polo God and Axe also close. Polo God trying to gain on Tax. Because right now, if Polo God gains on Tax, Tax is in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. That's all it's been this race. So the team, one driver in a sandwich with another team. That's all it's really been. 6 tenths is the gap. But we also see it getting a little bit cloudier. What does this mean? Dynamic weather. Let's keep that in mind.
Well,
Boker!
Yeah, he nearly lost it there. I did hear that there was no rain expected, but although it is getting a little bit cloudier, I don't think we'll see any today.
Danny's just got passed by 2 cars there, Graham. Only Fungus being those guys. EW back to 7th with the 14-lap old mediums. You know, good things go for him. He needs to try to go to the end. 6/10 the gap between 1 and 2 on the pit straight again. Is this Rapalucas' chance to win this race? I mean, what does he have? Because Rapalucas, no, we've seen him struggle as this last season's champion. We've seen him struggle so far this season. Obviously, only really 3 podiums out of 4 races, but it's not been to the point where he's had chances to win races. He's had chances to do it. Bahrain being one of them, France being one of them, but it's not been one of the best starts for him compared to the start he had last season, where he was on podium every single race that he raced. So, obviously, from last season's champion, you'd expect that, but Bahrain obviously changed that with the late race penalty and stuff that he had. Obviously, I mean, that was kind of deserved. Definitely deserved to be knocked off the podium.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Singapore came back to P2, I believe it was. He's been P2, I'm pretty sure, in the past 2 races, so you don't want to keep that P2 streak up today. I can guarantee that. Definitely wants to win.
This championship could be an awful lot closer, but unfortunately it's not, and now Rapalucas has to do double the work to try and claw back this deficit.
Boker clipping the curbs the wrong way. Danny Skedit. Graham and him. Graham and Danny Skedit had some contact last week. I don't expect it to go too well between them. Boker takes the fastest lap, and now down the pit straight, he's gaining a ton. ERS is pretty equal between the two. Boker moving into turn 1, not close enough for a move to be made. Tax gains on F1 driver, Polo God gains on him, and also Axe gaining on him. Polo God actually picks up his first penalty of this race. Ricochet by Danny Skedit for P9. Atlantis close to the same seat. Atlantis nearly spins it. Danny Skedit gaining on Ricochet into turn 4. They go wheel to wheel, but they make some contact. Oh, man, he tried it. Oh, Ricochet! He's so sideways. He can't keep the car under his power. And Jack takes the fastest lap of this race. It is on with fastest lap for sure. Boker really wants it. Rapalucas really wants it. And the guys outside the points really want it. And they might want another safety car. We have 10 laps to go this time. In the same weekend Rapalucas turns 15. Is this his chance for a race win? Side by side between Danny and Ricochet. Contact again. Danny trying for a switchback down the inside. A little bit of contact. And may have been some foaming broken by one of the two. And now Danny Skedit is ahead. 8/10 between 1 and 2 again.
This is opportunistic. Look at this train. Oh my days. Contact between the McLaren and the Renault. The Mercedes getting a little bit sideways. Look at this, the 6-car train, absolutely brilliant. The lead battle is not the only thing on our minds right now. Here comes Danny to try and retake the position from Ricochet. He does, going into turn 1.
We also have Sam Steed making a look on Jarv, and we had Graham making a look on Ricochet. That was also for position. Remember, these guys aren't battling, you know, for outside the points. They're battling inside the points. Danny Skedit leads his pack in 9th place, and there's 6 cars in this train, so 2 of these guys are going to get points if the way this looks right now. And easily another safety car can benefit any of these guys in 9th through 14th. Fastest lap for Jack. Boker's a lot closer to Rapalucas. 4/10 is the gap. Rapalucas protects that inside line. You don't want a move to be made. We saw Kagoda and Adam Fat battle. Rapalucas watched that. I know that. And this really being one of Rapalucas' dominant tracks. One of his tracks where he can win. He's mentioned that to me before, where he beat Boker in DAR here. He's beat Boker before at this track again. So obviously this is probably his best chance for a race win. I keep saying it over and over again because Rapalucas is the one beating Boker. We've not seen Boker completely beat based off of pace here. Boker got wrecked last week, technically. So 4/10 that gap into turn 1. It's a lot closer this time. Boker's gaining. And into turn 1, where does he go? He goes to the outside. Rapalucas side by side and is still
good defending.
Rapalucas has to be mindful of a penalty by him. Boker actually has just 1 warning. Polo God gaining on Tax for a position for P4. Axe gaining on him. Boker still gaining on F1 or JSC Rapalucas. Ricochet close to Danny. Graham's lost a little bit to that, meaning Jarv and Sam Seed, Atlantis all have the chance to pass him. 2/10 between the race lead now. DRS stays pretty equal. Lucas has got to use it, and he does. DRS enabled. Getting more cloudier this race right now. What could this mean? This time we're coming to 8 laps to go in this race. We've seen a great battle on our hands so far between these two trying it out. We've also seen a great battle between F1 driver Polo God Tax, also in the back there of the front of the field. 3 seconds back. Penalty could easily change positions. Jarv and Sam C trade positions, but I think Jarv almost got turned by Alanis right there. And now on the pit straight, 5/10 separates the gap between 1 and 2. Boker gaining 202 miles per hour compared to Rapalukis 195. Look at the mount, it's changing into turn 1. Also behind that, Axe gaining on Polo God gaining on Tax. You also have behind that Jarv, Same Seed, Graham, and also Atlantis trying to gain on each other and trying to change positions for 11th to gain to that points position. But here comes Sam Seed down the inside of Graham. Sam Seed is gaining, and he's to the right side, and he's passed. Oh, bye.
Graham's struggling with some left end plate damage. That's why he was understeering through turn 3.
Yeah, turn 3 is one of the worst corners for that. And that long right-hander that Rapalukis sent. Boker just gone through. Gaining and gaining. Boker, not enough for move, obviously. Too far back. But he's closed that gap a lot in those last few laps. Compared to 5 laps ago, he's really closed that gap. And he's really got the chance to gain on him. And he's really got the chance to possibly take this race win if he can. But it's anyone's game between those two. F1 drivers kept a decent gap with 3 seconds with these guys. Started to gain on that. So F1 driver, does he interfere with this if he gets a chance to do so? Who knows? Now Boker's a lot closer into turn 1. Gaining on Rapalukis. It's his chance to go wheel to wheel. Side by side. Just yet, no. Rapalukis still ahead.
Switch back.
But he's really going wide. And Boker, this is his opportunity. Through turn 3.
Oh, he's run wide. Oh, he picked up a warning for that.
There. Yeah,
Didn't,
check.
luckily.
Wow. Rapalukis is still on 2 warnings. What was that? Lap 7 and lap 12. Let me just make sure that's actual warnings and not collision warnings. Lap 7, Rapalukis exceeding track limits. Lap 12, Rapalukis exceeding track limits. Yep, alright, so that's exceeding track limits warnings, not just warnings for collisions. So, this time, 6 laps to go. How are things going to shape up as we head into turn 11, sector 3? Boker gaining. ERS stays pretty equal between these guys. It's going to be the matter of who uses it, though. That's what it's going to be up to. Dylan is on 20 lap mediums. Yeah, that's right. Dylan's trying to go to the end. Think about that. Might be able to do it, and he might get his good shot at points this season. 7th place right now for him. Wow, look at the gap. 8 tenths. Wow, it's really dropped back.
Yeah.
Dylan made a mistake there in sector 3 for sure.
Polo on Tax. This is a move that's about to happen. Polo goes to the outside of the Mercedes. Tax holds it. Tax out.
Oh, we also see DW pitting there. It's Ricochet out of the race. There was some sort of contact, I think. Where is that going to cause a safety car? It does. Late race safety car. This changes things, and the race is changed. F1 drivers put back in a position, and Polo got another chance at a podium. Ricochet is out.
Right.
I'm not going to scream like I did in Bahrain, but what has happened? Holy cow. This changes everything. Well, I do plan on getting loud if things happen, obviously, between Boker and Rapalukis. Yeah. We saw, I do say, though, we did see stuff happen in Bahrain. This is the exact 1, 2, 3 we saw in Bahrain, just different order. And Polo God also wasn't that chance for that, too. But we see, at the very back, guys like Graham and Jack put on softs. Do any of the front guys pit and put on softs? Do they, Milo? Do they?
What? I wouldn't.
This is tough,
I wouldn't.
though. Track position's so key, but
exactly.
Can you gain it back in 5 laps? Can you get how many other laps is left? It's probably gonna be 3 or 4. Can you gain it back in time? Rapalukis, he's got to think about his decision. Boker does too. F1 driver stays out, so does Polo. I think that's fair. They probably should have Oh, but Axe tries it. Whoa, whoa!
Oh.
He almost lost it.
What's happened? Oh, okay.
He almost lost it through the pits there. He nearly hit the barrier and almost spun around. Danny Skedit gets a chance, a good position for this. Utah Elephant says he would pit. I don't know. I mean, Axe needs to be in a good position here. He's gonna not really lose too many positions. He's really only gonna lose like 2 positions here, maybe 1. So it's not really gonna come into play too much for him. But I may as well take a bathroom break now. So we got.
Utah Elephant, you're always at the back, so of course you hit. I'm joking. Don't worry. Yeah, so many people have just got offended by that. Never mind. Well, we're in the second lap of this safety car period. The Maylands are having a good day leading these cars around the track. We'll restart with probably 4 laps to go. Lap 30, lap 31. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm back. Oh, we see Ethan back on softs. So this is gonna change things. How this goes. We won't see the safety car come in this lap. There's no way because no one's close enough. No one's really there. So, yeah. F1 driver's chance for a race win now. What? Okay, I've got to ask. We saw Bahrain a long straight like that. We see Spain a long straight like that. We can see 3 wide. Do you think we have the chance to do so, Milo? Another late race safety car like Italy and Bahrain, though.
Lucas got a really good restart the first time around, and he got a really good race start as well, so it would be hard to beat him at this stage in the race. This safety car has saved him to some extent, but penalties could still happen.
Thing I see with it, you know the mistake Boker made in Bahrain, and we saw the mistake Kagoda made in Bahrain and Singapore too. Don't go too early. Lucas probably needs to go as late as possible, to be honest, to maybe try to go for a good gap. You know, you can't go too early and then have the game just let off for you, and then Boker have the advantage for it. You can't have that, because now you might cost yourself a race win. And Polo God, he's there for a podium. Tax is there for a podium. It's got a lot more cloudier. Only Fungus has a good chance at his best points finish. I don't think he's scored points yet. He might have scored 1 or 2 points with fastest lap. Danny Skedit, he's in a good position. He's sitting there. He has one of the freshest tires out of the hard guys, and we have guys on the soft such as Axe, DW, Sam Seed, Atlantis, Graham, Jarv, and Jack. Well, 3 laps to go we're going to start with, it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
3 to go. Well, this means we'll have DRS enabled on the last lap. So, we won't see it on the front straight, we'll see it on the back straight. Oh boy. This is going to be a good finish. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be another Bahrain. But, you know what? Will it be Boker and Lucas spinning each other this time? I mean, who knows? Because F1 driver could easily take the advantage, but there's not enough room through turn 1 compared to a track like Bahrain to maybe go side by side the way you want to, or you know, kind of split through the middle. There's not enough room to do this at Spain. It's such a tighter track.
It's much more high speed as well. The first couple of corners, and it's a sudden change of direction. So to go side by side through there is not a brilliant idea. The safety car is coming in this lap. That was hard to say for some reason. I don't know. Let's go back to the action.
Let's take a deep breath because this can change in moments. Lucas leads this race. How far is he going to back up the pack, though? How far? He goes to the outside. The 2 Alfa Romeos, they both challenge for a podium. Is this their chance? Tax trying to challenge for his first podium since Germany. First one in this competitive era. I think someone ran in the back of someone. Might be a 5-second penalty from the game. No, it wasn't. When does Lucas go? He's slightly on the gas. Not enough yet. Through the chicane, he's got to get the advantage he needs to, and he goes. He is ahead, and that is 6/10 between 1 and 2. But the game is backing him off, I think. And here comes Boker. Boker for the race lead. F1 driver's not close enough between 1 and 2. Look at the gap. Side by side, and down the order go Rumbly Fungus goes.
This is podium gone.
Side by side between Lucas and Boker. And it is Lucas back to the race lead. F1 driver Polo God ahead for P3, P4. Down the order, Danny Skedit goes. Contact Jarv and Graham side by side almost for the race lead. And F1 driver Polo God have caught up to this. Danny is spun it. Tax is also in the back from that too. 3 laps to go, and we see a 4-car battle for the race win. Axe is in contention for a podium.
Axe is on fresh softs. Remember, Axe is on fresh softs. This could fall in his favour. He could get on the podium here, and what a result that would be. For somebody who hasn't really had the best of luck. Exactly, racing point has become racing podium? Question mark. Still questions to be answered in the final 2 laps.
Well, we see Rapalukis, he has 2 warnings. What does Boker have on the occasion of this? Boker has 2 warnings. So, who gets a penalty? I mean, if both of them get a penalty, F1 driver Polo got axed could be the podium. Just gonna put that out there right now. I know that probably won't happen, but we'll find out. 3/10 is the gap between 1 and 2. No DRS just yet. 2 laps to go. F1 driver 7/10 back. Polo got here. DW fastest lap. He's back in 6th. 1 and 2. 2/10. It is staying so close between these two, and these two battle it out again, just like we saw in preseason. Later laps in the race, and these two with a late race safety car again. Rapalukis probably thought it was over. Now he has a chance to maybe think again. Is it really over? Who knows? We'll find out.
Axe is getting good traction. Oh,
down the inside.
Down the inside of Polo. What an opportunistic move.
What more traction does he have?
Axe.
What more traction does he have compared to these guys? This is his chance at a podium for the first time since Italy. And who was on the podium with him? F1 driver. Let's think about that. He's going to battle him, his ex-teammate. We won the championship with him in the Constructors last season. Pitting is Danny Skedit. Tax fell down the order. So did Rumbly Fungus. 3/10. We'll see DRS enabled this time. Oh. Wow. What have we seen?
I'm on the edge of my seat. This is brilliant.
Pagoda F5 repeat number 2. Chevy Giant Data Lucas repeat number 2. Well, it's close. A penalty could change things. This time, down the front straightaway. Here we go for the last lap. DRS is enabled, and here we go. He's 4/10 back, but the straight line speed might change things. No, it won't, but he gains a ton. He gains at least 2/10 on that straightaway. DW by Polo God. And DW is up to P5 from starting on the softs and ending on the softs. Axe is gaining on F1 driver. F1 driver 7/10 back from this. Does Boker try anything with Rapalukis? And if it happens, F1 driver Axe, DW are all close enough for a race win or a podium. These late race safety cars changes a lot of things, and he's close enough. DRS will be enabled this time. 2/10 is the gap. Oh no, this might turn out really bad. We'll have to find out. Rapalukis trying for his first win since his championship. Boker also trying for 4 or 5 of the last 6. Here comes
oversteer.
enough, but late braking. He's trying everything he can. Pad traction might get him what he can. And now the gap is 2/10. A penalty could easily change things too. Last lap, last gasp. Final chicane, final time. Here comes Boker. Rapalukis. On the weekend, he turned 15. It is going to be Rapalukis winning for the first time since his championship. Rapalukis wins in Spain on his birthday weekend with F1 driver taking a podium.
Sam's come all the way back to 4th place.
Whoa!
He was involved in the lap one carnage. What?
All right. Well, we're choosing our sticker right now. We're choosing our sticker right now for who gets that sticker for Silent Designs. I think it's Sam. With that, deserved. I just think that's well deserved.
Hats
Good
on.
job to Sam.
I didn't have a hat on. Incredible. What a race.
And fastest lap for Tax in the last lap. Oh, and I think Jarv just stole it too. I think Jarv just stole that fastest lap again. What have we seen in this race?
Oh, breathe. Post-race interviews coming up.
Yes.
There's a lot to debrief in this one.
Rapalukis for the first time since his championship wins in Spain. F1 driver back on the podium along with Sam Seed with his best finish again. F1 driver, welcome to the post-race interviews. Again, you're on podium. Again. Yeah, Danny just stole that fastest lap from Tax by, oh my god, by 400ths right there. Holy cow. And 14 finish in this race. That was insane. Well, let's get the top 5 in here. I think that's fair. What a great battle it was. Well, I'm getting the top 5 in here. They deserve an interview, I'm pretty sure. Everyone just already here. We have both crews join us, Hack join us. Get the top 5 in here. Make sure you guys include your video. Wow. Wow. What can I say
I
about
wish I
that?
could send you a video of my hand right now.
Good job.
I don't even think you can still hold the camera when you send the video.
But
Anyway, top 5 here for post-race interviews. Where do we start? Rapper Lucas, I'll start with you. On the weekend you turned 15, your dad got denied in Tier 3. You take the win over Boker. What an amazing battle that was. How much were you shaking? Include your audio.
yeah, so I messed up the last corner on the safety car restart. I put a bit too much throttle down, and I had to counter step, and he got the slipstream. Obviously pulled out to the left hand side. I don't know why he didn't stick it around the outside. I reckon he probably could have got through, but he didn't. So yeah, and then from there on it was just just finish basically. Don't get another warning. Just. That was.
Wow.
I think that was the most high pressure I've ever driven. Obviously, Boker's incredibly fast. Just relentless. The pace, every lap, every single lap, consistent. And I think that's my best drive ever, just because
I was gonna say
pressure.
yeah.
Pressure I had to
Brilliant.
keep. The cat
Yeah,
was beautiful.
I had said to you.
Oh, sorry.
I had said, and no, sorry, that was my fault. I said in the I'd said in the commentary booth, halfway through the race when you were leading, I was like, this is Rapper Lucas' probably last chance at a really good race win or a really good time this season. With the tracks you have left, Singapore was already done, Spain now done, and you win this race. I mean, I even said it to Milo, I think, that if you win this race, I think that'd be one of your best drives for sure in this league, for sure. And now we saw that. How did you hold him off? That was insane. That safety car restart, what were you thinking when you saw that safety car late in the race? You were probably thinking, oh shit.
Actually, I was pretty grateful because obviously after the safety car, there's no DRS, and so that gave me enough. It gave me enough of a buffer, and obviously to pass with just pure slipstream is almost impossible in this game. And so I think he might have had slightly higher downforce than me because he didn't, even after he pulled alongside, he didn't gain anything. But yeah, I mean, it's just incredible, absolutely incredible. You know, I knew obviously the field would be bunched up, but I really didn't want to get another warning because obviously then you would drop like 5.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'd like to congratulate Dylan. Obviously, fantastic drive from him today.
Yeah, I was gonna
after his shambolic safety car restart, he managed to recover his P6, which is really good. And I think he had fastest lap. Am I correct?
I don't think so at the end. I think Danny
No, Danny. Sorry.
Was it
Danny,
Tax?
yeah. Danny stole it by 4,000ths. Tax originally had it, but Danny stole it.
What a waste.
Yep.
Anyway, so start. Oh, sorry, my headphones got through. Obviously, pretty pissed off in qualifying. I lost 2 tenths in the final chicane.
Yeah.
I broke myself a little bit. Would have been first pole, but the streak carries on. Obviously, my dad's got 2 pole positions. I've got 0, so it's a bit embarrassing. But what can you do?
Oh man. Yeah, I've got to say, your teammate, you guys were 1-2 for most of the time at the start of the race. Obviously, things changed. Boker passed him. Williams scored some decent points today. How do you feel about that now, with Dylan actually doing very good this race and getting his best finish of the season?
I must admit, I don't actually know if where we are in constructors, second or third, but one thing I do know.
You're headed for Ferrari.
Sweet. Yep. So obviously we on Renault today because I don't know if Graham scored points, and if he did do points, then obviously I won, and then Dylan got 8, and so that's really good. some incredible drives. I mean, today was an incredible race. I mean, obviously, I don't know what Axe started. I'm sorry, I don't really know what happened in your race, but you know, was it 4?
Yeah, actually 5th, because Sam had no penalty.
Oh, Sam, yeah.
Tense.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Sam
that's crazy.
had a shocker at the start. He got hit by Pluto, I think, and recovered from 4. So yeah, it's just an amazing race.
I think I actually did, yeah.
He went for a move on you. Oh, now it comes out.
Yeah, I think in turn 1,
Yeah.
I went in a little deep, and I understeered it. I think it was a Ferrari on the inside, but I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, I said yesterday with the battle could go to Adam Fab. You can't get any better than that. Today, I think that was insane. With staying close the whole race, I did not think that was possible in Spain. Whether being mainly a boring track, but how again can you describe that race?
I'm actually quite disappointed because I scored no points today. Obviously, JSC Rapaluca stepping in for me. Really happy that he raced for me. I hope he was let me keep his points. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think to be honest, this is one thing that I find quite interesting. So there's a route, I would say, but a statement I guess you could say that racing in tier 2 is better, right? But that may be true. The level at which we're competing at is so much higher that, like, for Boca to sit behind me for so long and, you know, try to, especially in Barcelona where the final section was hell to follow, yeah, it's just really impressive. You know, I'm very glad I managed to hang on, obviously. And yeah, I just did everything I could, and yeah, it was hashtag best fans, that's all I can say.
I think JC Rapid should get a seat over Rapid.
Much better. Much better.
Yeah,
One race, one win.
You can actually win a race.
Look at this, 100% win streak for JSC Rapid because what a driver.
Yeah. May as well put that on the Daily Fun Facts. Nah, I mean, congratulations on the race win on Spain. Deserved for sure. Milo Gaming, do you have any questions for our race winner?
How do you take this race win? Back of the race win onto Hungary next week.
Die Ring. So yeah. Obviously, I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice track. Obviously, more overtaking again, but quite a technical circuit. Obviously, we have to qualify at medium, which is a bit of a stinker, but that's just most tracks in this game.
Well, you know the feeling of being stolen away with
yeah, obviously 10 point gain in the last 2 races on Boca, which is, you know, nothing compared to how much he gained from me at the start. But you know, we have to chip away slowly, and you know, hopefully, I can, you know, I'll put myself firmly ahead of Felipe now due to his absence. So yeah, it was great to have a battle with Boca as well, because one thing I regret about last season was me and Dylan, we never raced side by side. I don't think there was a single race where we actually raced against each other, whereas, you know, I already had a battle with Boca, and it was, you know, really, really good, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
winning this race, no, I know I've beaten the best, which is, yeah, it's really good.
It's like, as soon as like the safety car happened, it was just, well, I think, yeah, and Dylan's very funny spin. It was just like, I just getting
I can't imagine the party with that.
We were creasing so hard.
extremely hard.
Oh my god, everyone just started laughing. So good.
Hey, well, he spun and came back at 6 though, so. Yes. That's, I can confirm that. I've seen it.
I think driver of the day goes to Rizal today. Fantastic race today. Just getting off next week.
No, driver today goes to ARL.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Cheers to Arlene's internet, boys.
You guys forgot Vivid, but yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Anyway. Anyway, congratulations though on the win, Rapalucas. Boker, not you. You tried and threw everything at Rapalucas. Tried so hard to get to him and get around him. You were side by side so many times with him, but Rapalucas held on and had beaten you today. I mean, you still keep the championship lead, but that gap closes down again. How would you describe your race?
it was actually
Make sure it is.
it was actually a bit of a stink at the start because of the qualifying. Like, I lost about 3 tenths in the first sector. I was like double purple in the second and third, I think, but you know. But I just slashed away through the build and then. Oh, whose mic is so echoey? Oh my god. Yeah, I just hate him on this, but you know, the safety car happened. It was. Oh my god! Again. Oh my god.
I feel like Milo's doing it on purpose.
You went for
But
a
yeah,
toilet
the safety
break.
car happened. I just. Well, it didn't really help much, but like I knew that Dylan was gonna hold me up for Rapper, but and then you know what happened. So.
You didn't imagine.
Spin. Yeah, I swear Dylan and Reese, they spin so much, but
Spin
we
master.
won't get into that.
Spinella.
I think in fact it's spinning instead of actually doing a lap, but it was, and then like after I just screwed up one driver, and then it was just like me and the rapper, and like it's actually a battle between us two now, and it's like it was fun. Like I didn't really care who won. Oh my god. But it was like I don't mind if he wins because it was a good battle. You know what I mean? Like it was a deserved win. And there was times where I could have got ahead, but I just misjudged it a little. Like on the second car restart, he went really deep. I probably should have went for a switchback, but it's good. We have Hungary next.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I think it's a real track in sector 3, but it's good on having sector 1. But we'll see. I think it'll be quite close, but hard to overtake. But back to Spain, it was a decent race. It was hard to overtake, but yeah, GG's.
Yeah, you came into this race 39 points ahead in the championship lead. Now it's 30. I can't even do math. 32. Yeah, obviously that changes things for sure in the championship. 32 points is the gap. Compared to it was 42, I believe, before Australia. So,
Very nice.
with the way this looks right now, I mean, how do you how do you describe it with the championship right now?
I don't really mind. I still race them, so it's not too much. But like, if it's another loss, then I'll start thinking, okay, well, I've actually got a bad on my hands now. But right now, I'm still leading comfortably, so it's not too much of stress.
But yeah, how are you looking in the next 3 races? Oh, sorry.
It's good. Oh, it's probably my fault, but yeah. If 7 points keep going, then like, next races are like, that's Hungary. I've got to just do well. And it's just how rapid is compared to me, and he's on time trial as well. So
Actually, I'm trying to do pad on Monaco. I want to see how good I am.
yeah,
I'm not
it's
even lying.
actually 8, so I have good.
You're going to try and substitute in Monaco now, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, I just spoke to Rapper Lucas. He told me that he said, you know, due to your fantastic performance at Spain, you can keep the rest of the season. So yeah, I guess I'm really happy that Rapper Lucas has given me this opportunity. It's part of
I don't think
you guys should follow him on Instagram.
Whatever.
Yeah, how do you look in the next 3 Grand Prix? Hungary, Austria, Britain for you, Boker.
Yeah, I've already said about Hungary. It's just, yeah, I've no clue what my rivals' fates are, but I think I'll just aim to get on the podium. P2 maybe, that's my target. Austria, it's going to be a big train. It just will. And if you're going to be the leading car, then it's just going to be easier. But it's just about being the lead in the last lap there. I reckon it'll be close. It'll definitely be a big train between some pastures. And it's just really hard to pick out the OS. And what was the next race after that?
Britain.
Okay, that will also be close with people. I'm alright there. But I think there's people who are like people are ridiculously fast there. Like there's people who can set up probably like a 26-0 in quali maybe. But yeah, I reckon Britain will be a close one.
James, do you remember that JKB guy from there?
Yeah, I raced him in the season. He's a sweat, but you know.
Imagine doing
He's not here.
159 when representing SOR. That's just disgraceful.
Anyway, congratulations on P2 there, Boker. And Milo, do you have any questions for Boker?
Well, it's not really a question, but just your thoughts quickly on scoring a podium in every single race.
I asked for questions.
So far.
Oh, he vibes.
We
I'm
stole
not
on
really
all
gonna
of
say
mine.
so much.
Oh,
Come on,
I'm
then.
gonna take that.
But I'm not really looking too much into podiums every race. But it's a cool start. But it's like it'll end at some point if I just get absolutely bombed by someone.
Yes, good. Get bum wrecked.
Oh, kinky. But yeah, it'll end at some point. It's just how long it can go for. It's a nice start, but it's not like the most on my mind.
Congratulations on P2 today. Now to you, F1 driver. F1 driver. Battling for the podium, I'd say the whole race between Polo God, you, and Tax. Wait, what? F1 driver, you, Polo God. What? Okay. Axe was in that fight at the end with you guys. Rumbly Fungus was there for a moment. Danny Skedit was there. Podium here? I mean, you gotta be happy about being on the podium again.
Well, yeah.
Make sure your audio's
It's been a damn while.
that sounds German, I think, innit?
yeah.
That's there.
Well, it's something. It's getting back on track now, to be honest. I've had a terrible start to the season. Some my fault, some not, but, you know.
I feel like we're both thinking exactly the same thing.
Boring.
I violated you.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I've got to say, Hungary, Austria, Britain, the next few races for you. You know, this momentum for you, for Alfa Romeo, you guys sit 6th in constructors, I believe, 6th or 7th. So you guys with Polo are going to gain a few positions out of this. But how do you guys keep the momentum heading into those next few races?
Well, the attitude we went with is don't really take it. The attitude we went with was, yeah, our mentality for this race was just don't take it too seriously. Be very cautious because we've had a shocking start. So yeah, probably the same strategy into Hungary.
Yeah, you were battling Polo God there, and you had the chance at the win, it looked like, at least if something happened between Rapalukas and Boker. Did you think you would take that chance if any of them got a penalty or even crash each other? Do you think you would have had the chance to steal it?
I was just pushing for the last couple of laps, hoping someone would get a penalty, but never happened. Or I was hoping maybe there'll be a Lewis Hamilton Rosberg sort of crash happen after turn 3, but never happened.
You never know. Anyway, congratulations on P3 today. And Milo, do you have any questions or answers for him?
Funny. So how did you work together with Polo today? Was it just a game of DRS? Was it intense strategical discussions?
I think it was just a mixture of everything, to be honest.
James Val.
Yeah. We were very closely matched when we were practicing and stuff like that, so we knew that we could help each other during the race in some way. Once Taz got him out of my DRS, then Polo could attack, so yeah, I think we did help each other at times where needed.
Yeah. An interesting one for you guys, because you guys battled it out most of the race. Congratulations on P3. Now to you, Sam Steed. You crashed in the first lap. I don't know what happened there, but I've got to ask you what happened there. And you came back to finish P4.
What I think happened was there was a tiny gap down Axe's inside. Pluto decides to take it, and then he spins, and then ruins me. So that's simply what happened. I was like, because Ricochet hit into, I was 20 seconds off the car ahead, so I was just praying for a safety car. But the safety car came in the end. Yeah, but the first safety car, I got a rubbish restart. Then I was just waiting for like stuff to happen, and I got into, I think it was P9, and then the safety car came out. I was thinking whether to pit or not. I decided to pit, and I knew that everyone else had penalties. Pretty much everyone had penalties in front, apart from the top 3. So I knew it was my time or chance to get a really good result.
I love main chat so much.
This time
Main-
it ties your best finish though. Oh my god, yeah, I see that. Holy cow. Yeah, this time it ties your best finish in this league. Just like, I believe it was... No, it wasn't Bahrain, was it? No, I don't even know where it was.
France.
Anyway, you tie your best... Yeah, France and Germany, I think. Am I correct? I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
I don't even know. Yeah, you tie your best finish this time at 4th, one step closer to the podium. Can it happen this season? Can we see you on podium?
I think we need another race like this, an 8-race safety car, me not to have too many penalties, because honestly, I'm not as quick as these guys in here. I just need to keep consistent and try and get as many points in each race, and I think I'm up to the P4 in the standings now, which is surprising.
I can check that for you. Yes, I think so. Wait, is he?
Yeah.
Wait, so how much you get? 12? You're really close to Felipe. You're 6 points behind Felipe.
Yeah.
Rapadulas.
Wait, what?
That actually spelled
Oi.
like that.
Oi. Oh. GSR Axe, you're spelling my guy. Oh my lord. Rapalulas. Mate, this guy, I can just feel going to be like some book writer in the future. Big man.
Just want to say that Vettel are leading the constructors by just missed a vote
Thank you.
5
Yeah.
points.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got to ask though, Sam, how do you head with this momentum into the next races?
I think I'm not really sure of my pace around Hungary. I don't race around there too often. It's like Spain again, but Austria and Silverstone are probably 2 of my better tracks, and I think Silverstone I could challenge for another top 5, and maybe the same at Austria. But we'll see how it goes there.
Alrighty, Milo, do you have any questions for Sam? Congratulations on P4.
Thank you.
So. So after the start crash, how did you approach the remainder of the race? Was there any doubt in points, or did you just think, no, I'm going to keep on going here?
Well, there was probably a doubt as if Rapper and Boca would know, but I was just hoping for a safety car. It reminded me of Italy last season. Different circumstances, default setup, but I still gained from penalties, and yeah, very good performance to come back from being like 20 seconds off P17.
Yeah, that safety car ricochets really helped you a lot, I gotta say. Your teammate actually helped you there, that one. with his
Mixed
first time.
emotions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ferrari have the chance, I think, of keeping third in constructors there, so that's a good positive for you guys. Congratulations on P4. Now to you, GSRX. Put softs on at the end. Late safety car. You were 8th. Did you think P4, P5 was possible, or even a podium? It looked like it could have been.
I knew I
Alright,
could get back to where I was in like 6th. Just because I had only lost 2 positions and I was on soft. It was just a matter of getting past people, because that's difficulty at Spain. But well, Tact kind of helped me out there. It was really nice of him. And I just tried to drive the fastest I could because I knew I had penalties, and there was like 1 or 2 people behind me who could beat me off of penalties. So Sam did get me in the end, but I'm still happy with the top 5. Gotta be happy we have like doubled our points total for Racing Point. So
Racing pointless.
Yeah, Racing Pointless become like
Racing points.
Point, I guess. I don't know. Points, yeah.
Finally.
I mean, it
Yeah,
took a
man.
while, Axe. And Jack, now your driver for Racing Point, replacing TS or Norris. How's that change, even though he had some bad luck today?
I think it'll definitely help out in the end. We have two drivers now that can definitely compete for good points, and even wins at good tracks. So hopefully we can vault ourselves up towards the top of the midfield in the constructor, not at the back at the moment. So
Yeah. I mean, do you think you could have passed anyone with any more laps left? Because it was a 3-lap restart, and you had the chance to pass a few people. You were down at 8th or 9th. You had the chance to. I mean, you battled Polo God. You got by him. You got by almost F1 driver, and you finished 5th out of this race. How do you look into?
I think
you
if
would've
I
had more
didn't have penalties, or if I didn't, because I had only 3 warnings, I didn't pick up another one after the third. But if I didn't have another penalty, I probably would have gone for more risky moves instead of just sitting behind. Because I knew those top 3 didn't have any. Spam Outlaw had told me. So it was just kind of like sit behind them, hope that could pull away, and behind. So yeah, I was content with just staying behind them. If I didn't have penalties, who knows what I could have done there.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, you had the chance of battling F1 driver. You got by Polo God. With this momentum, with late race safety cars and stuff, obviously you got the podium in Italy, but how does this help your confidence in the next few races here?
Well, I'm looking forward to Hungary. I'm usually alright there. And hopefully if I qualify better than what I did today, because I was 11th.
I want to GSR, you suck.
Just hopefully I can pull together a better qualifying effort and vault myself up higher, because I can usually gain spots in the race. I just have to work on the penalties. That's all I have to do.
That's true. Congratulations on P5 today. Milo, do you have any questions for Axe?
How does this change your season then? You might have doubled your points. Can't remember when Jack finished, to be honest. Is this some serious momentum now going forward?
I hope it is. I hope this team actually gets in seriously now, because obviously it wasn't before. Square's shaking his head at me, so he said no. But yeah, hopefully we can just get ourselves in the mix a little bit more, and hopefully have some better luck overall, to be honest. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything?
Square, say anything?
I'm opening a kid selling business for everyone, so as it's locked down, we've opened an online
Shut
site for
up,
everyone to
Jake.
buy their kids. So
Keep
if you want
this
to
man from the
hop on,
party, bro.
send
Oh
Mr.
my
Both from the
God.
Fives on Discord a DM, and we'll send you the link.
Shut up.
No.
Shut it, will ya?
Yeah. Anyway, Milo,
I'm heading off.
was that better than
got
Hello.
Australia?
Rapper
You
Lucas
think
back.
it was?
I think
The
it was
ban's
better than
over.
Australia. More